Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing GTX 4 with the reloaded patch. You're probably here because this game is free right now on the Epic Games Store, at least at the time of making this video, which is April 16. If that's the case, just follow the link in the description, claim the game for free on the Epic Games Store. It should be free for around a week, but if you get it on time, it should be yours forever. So just hurry to the description to get the game for free. So this reloaded thing is a big update that the developers released that aims to improve graphics, the aggression of the enemies. The game looks more appealing in general, but it still has some issues with the graphics, such as the temporal anti-aliasing. If you enable that, yeah, it looks fine, but it has a very significant ghosting. I mean, when I move the camera very fast, I thought that I had motion blur enabled, but I just turned it off. It's the temporal anti-aliasing that is doing this, apparently. It reminds me of when I played Quantum Break or one of those games that has a very aggressive TAA solution. So yeah, this is no exception. But if you disable the TAA and you put FXAA or disable anti-aliasing altogether, most noticeably in the hair of the main character, you'll see that it has a ton of jaggies, and the foliage in the distance doesn't fare much better. On the graphics menu we have basically the same options. Now the menu luckily is not bugged anymore, like it was on day one, they fixed it. And overall the game runs very similar to how it did in the past. The tweaks didn't kill performance, luckily. If you want to see all the improvements made to this, just follow the link in the description. There is a comparison that IGN of all people made, so you can check out the differences before and after the patch. So if you want to improve performance by lowering graphics, I'll first tell you to lower shadows and anti-aliasing. Jumping from TAA to FXAA is already like a 5 FPS improvement. But again, there's some extra jaggies, but you get rid of the motion blur-esque nature of TAA in this game. Then the shadows, I recommend lowering them to medium. They still look pretty good at that setting. Then you also have a global illumination option and a bokeh depth of field. I'll first disable global illumination and SSAO if lowering shadows wasn't enough, but in general the ones that you need to tweak are shadows, SSAO, global illumination, anti-aliasing, and sometimes LOD factor and ocean detail if you need to do some small tweaks. I almost forgot about screen space reflections, those also affect performance. And well, in comparison to day one, as I said, the game runs very similar. I just cranked it up slightly higher than on my previous video if I already tested the card that you are seeing right now. And if you remember Just Cause 3 that had a lot of stutter and RAM usage and CPU usage, on this game that's drastically improved, at least for what I'm seeing. You can even do 60 frames per second with a modern quad-core CPU. This game is much more GPU intensive, especially when there are explosions and effects on screen. So yeah, in Just Cause 3, the CPUs got destroyed when there was a big explosion. Here the GPUs are getting destroyed, which is awesome. That's what we need in general for most games. So yeah, as long as you have a quad-core CPU with a good enough GPU, you should be able to do 60 frames just fine. And in this video for the testing, I'll be jumping from a helicopter, then landing onto a battle zone, because there are front lines across the entire game when you're advancing. There's the side of the main character and the side of the enemy, and when you're in that front line there are tons of effects on screen, many characters, and they are attacking you at the same time. So that was a good stress test, at least for what I played. And then I'll just fly around to another base and start destroying stuff in general, what you do in Just Cause 4, destroy things, shoot enemies, all the good stuff. And that was basically my stress test. Many effects on screen, many characters, and if there is foliage involved, even better. But yeah, not much else to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this game is still free, like I said at the start of the video, follow the link in the description to claim it. That's about it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching. Wash your hands, stay at home, just be safe in general, and see you next time.
Target is at large. Re-establish visual.
Mira, small outpost, not heavily guarded. But there's an elevator that goes into the ground.
That must be La Masmorra. The elevator's probably locked down. Look for a console that will give you access.
Copy.
Helicopter inbound. Heading to AO.
Near La Masmorra.
That's the prison where you think your uncle is?
See. Let me know what you find at those coordinates.
Keep at it, people! Back off! Yeah.
Copy. Reacquaint.
Mira, small outpost, not heavily guarded. But there's an elevator that goes into the ground.
That must be La Masmorra. The elevator's probably locked down. Look for a console that will give you access.
Copy. Adios. That's the prison where you think your uncle is?
See. Let me know what you find at those coordinates.
visual.
Tank squad deployed. On our way.
Helicopter inbound. Heading to AO. Can't see the enemy. Commencing search. Oye, command. He's in a helicopter.
Acknowledged. Hostile now in chopper.
Tank unit on its way. Will be on site shortly.
Mira, small outpost, not heavily guarded. But there's an elevator that goes into the ground.
That must be La Mazmorra. The elevator's probably locked down. Look for a console that will give you access.
Copy.